This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Montreal, Canada, head of Saunders Lemieux. I'm joined by trainer Ben Davison. There was quite a few of us sitting here earlier, and now there's just me and you.
There was. Someone scared them away.
Someone has, yeah. They've probably left the bill.
Drop it, yeah, true. That's why I'll be leaving first and all.
Now Ben, obviously you've been working with Tyson Fury for the last few weeks, or I don't know if it's been longer than that.
Yeah, about 5-6 weeks.
5-6 weeks, okay, so we can still say weeks. And yeah, it was a little bit unclear about what his training situation was. He said today in an interview that he's working with you.
Yeah.
So, first of all, quite a role. How's that been going?
Yeah, good. Obviously, everyone knows Tyson had his ups and downs since the Klitschko fight, and I was working with Billy Joe Saunders out in Marbella, and Billy Joe, as a good friend with Tyson, was worried about him at the time and thought it'd be a good idea for him to come out and start training and get a bit of structure back in his life. And he come out and we started working together out of there, and it all come off of there really.
So obviously it's been going on for the last few weeks. Obviously his situation is a little bit clearer now that the UKAD situation is kind of come to an end, meaning he's free to go and fight again, subject to obviously regaining his license, wherever that may be.
Yeah.
Couldn't really talk to Tyson today about certain things regarding the UKAD hearing, and for reasons we spoke about in the interview. So,
well, what I can tell you is what I can tell you about it is that it wasn't. Tyson didn't fail a drugs test. He'll go into the details himself when the time's right for him to be able to. But what I can tell you is the word ban is the word that the media have portrayed. The situation was that this period that Tyson was ineligible to fight, has been ineligible to fight because of this ongoing case, has been a mutual ground for Tyson and UKAD to say, look, whatever the situation is, you've not been able to box for 2 years, and we're happy to use that as a meeting ground, you know, because otherwise this case could have just gone on and on and on and on and on. But a failed drugs test and a 2-year ban is what the media have portrayed. That's not what UKAD's the joint statement says. What the joint statement says is the ineligible period that Tyson couldn't box was the common ground for them to get this resolved on, basically.
So you're saying that's not the same as a backdated ban, like a backdated 2-year ban?
No, because ban makes it sound like he's been found guilty for something, which isn't the case. But that's as much as I can say on it, because, like I say, Tyson will go into the details when he can. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah, so moving forward, obviously, his first step obviously is to get his license wherever that may be, whoever that may be with, rather. But yeah, the plan is now set out to start mapping out 2018.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, everybody wants a piece of the pie. Being who Tyson is, he's just got to find the right route for him in regards to the promotional side of things and that. I know he's in talks with a few people at the minute, but you know, for me, once he gets that sorted out, Tyson just needs to. The mistake everybody's made is that Tyson's got back to boxing for the big fight, to go bang, Anthony Joshua, yeah, I'm gonna get this, get that. Tyson is not boxing for money. Believe me, he's not boxing for money, because he walked away from a big payday with Klitschko, and he could go straight back into the Joshua fight if he wanted to, if he really wanted to, or other big fights. Joshua's not the only man for him, but Tyson's come back to boxing because he's seen that he needs structure, he needs routine in his lifestyle, something to keep him motivated, you know, and to retire at 27, 28, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and he's seen that now, and all he wants is to be able to box. Obviously, he'd want to maximise his income from that, but he just wants to be able to be able to box, and everybody he works with be straight with him, and that's all he wants. He just wants to box. It's not about, I'm going to have 2 fights and fight this man, have 2 fights and fight that man for a big payday, like I see the public saying. That's definitely not the case.
We obviously saw Tyson's career, which kind of halted, but came to a quite an emphatic night in Dusseldorf where he defeated Vladimir Klitschko, and obviously guided by his uncle Peter Fury, who was very, very instrumental in that win and Tyson's whole career. Is your plan with Tyson, is it a long-term plan? Is it a short-term plan? Or is that?
The main focus at the minute is obviously to get him back, get the weight off him, get him back fully fit, get him back match fit, and then go from there. There's no, like I say, there's no let's have a couple of fights and then do this and make a big jump into this and a big jump into that. It's to get him back boxing and get him back enjoying it, you know. Obviously, so far up till now, we've obviously been training. You can see the results from the training, the weight falling off. But it's getting to a point now where if he will be boxing in April, May, it's now where it's not about him enjoying it, it's about getting him right. So it becomes a job, and that's when everything gets tested to make sure that he's prepared properly for the night.
When Tyson does start fighting again, whenever that may be, at whatever part of 2018, obviously you will become more in the spotlight as well, Ben, and
yeah.
I suppose cynical people and critics will say where your experience come from to handle someone as high profile and in a position of Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
So what would you say to that?
That's right as well. That is right, and that is a big thing. I was lucky enough to have worked with Billy Joe since 2012, and while that, I spent a lot of time around, you know, seeing people getting prepared for big fights, and you know, I learnt a lot there, and I just also have a knack for it, you know. Can't really explain it. It's like, it's just having an understanding. Like when we was out in Marbella, me and Tyson just gelled and just clicked, you know. Obviously, like Tyson said in his interview, if I was no good, he wouldn't be with me, and I wouldn't be able to work with the level of fighters that I work with.
Because to be fair, that's the thing that kind of, we look at kind of, let's say Tyson is a very intelligent person inside and outside the ring, and we're talking about outside the ring, so what you just said there is kind of the judgment that other people will go on, the fact that if Tyson's kind of having you working with him, then that may sort of speak for itself to a certain degree, but results will tell you.
Yeah, of course, and you're never gonna
story as well.
Yeah, you're never gonna please everybody. Do you know what I mean? People are always gonna have something to say, and especially a big thing like this, you know. But how many times have we seen fighters fight at world title level and then go to coaching and but people go, oh, he's experienced at that level, and it's a different thing, you know. And I think a lot of it is how you are as a person. You know, if you know what you're doing and you're good, then you're good. If you can't keep calm and make the right decisions, you can't keep calm and make the right decisions, you know. Obviously, time will tell.
Time will tell, and you know, like I said, it's one of those things where people will be trusting the judgment of Tyson Fury ahead of yourself until situations arise, or you're kind of put in that position where you'll have to show your worth?
100%. Time will tell. Like I say, you know, I got put in the hot seat when Billy Joe boxed Akavov.
And you got some criticism, didn't you, that night?
100%. But I always explain that like this. It's like having a race between two cars. You've got a Ford Fiesta or whatever the average car is, and an elite car, because that's what Billy Joe is, an elite fighter, and don't be mistaken. But it's like having that race, and the driver in the elite car knows that tank's half full. Now, if I'd said to Billy Joe, go out, I knew, because I spent 8 to 12 weeks every day with Billy Joe, twice a day training him with Jimmy, and you know, with whatever happened between Billy Joe and Jimmy, with 3 weeks left to the fight, the situation was the situation due to circumstances I'm not going to mention. But Billy Joe's not hid, you know, the weight that he blew up to. And he had to fight, otherwise he would have got stripped, Billy Joe. And it's like being in that car knowing the tank's only half full, and if I put my foot down, we wouldn't have made it to the end of the race. So me and Billy Joe had to pace ourselves and do what needed to be done to get to the end line. And we see a similar sort of thing with Chunky the other day. Now, Jim McDonald's a very experienced trainer, but you know, Chunky unfortunately didn't come through that situation. But thank God, when Billy Joe boxed Akavov, as a team we managed to get through that, you know.
Well, like I said, everyone's always going to have their opinion, so like I said, like you just said a few times there, time will tell, so you know, do what you're doing, and hopefully it works out, you know.
That's it. Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right, Ben, listen, I know you hate doing these things, so I want to point out that I did ask you to kind of do this, and after Tyson come out with what he said today about you, I think it was kind of important then to sort of follow on from it with yourself.
Yeah, of course, and everybody would be wanting to know certain things and that. So here they are. All right.
Ben Davison, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Let's hope Billy Joe Saunders gets a win tomorrow night, 100%. Or tonight by the time this goes out. 100%. And we can all go home with that belt.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, KUGAN.